morning guys, and welcome to my Facebook live stream. Of course, if you don't know me, I'll just give you my introduction. My name is Jimmy Cheng. I'm a professional photographer, filmmaker, and an Olympus ambassador. So if you're new to this live stream thing, and this is all about photography and of course Micro Four Thirds and especially Olympus gears. So I have a special today. Yes, and I was trying to do a post yesterday, but for some reason Facebook just wouldn't allow me to post anything relating to live broadcast for some reason. So it could just be me so I have absolutely no idea and no control over something like this. But it is something special I would like to talk to you guys about. It's more to do with wireless stuff. Remember about 2-3 days ago, I did show you guys something like this. Yeah, kind of like a little walkie-talkie thing. That I did mention this little gadget would allow me to do something really special, especially for streaming. Right, okay, let me give you the name of these things. This is something called the Hollyland Mars 400S. Right, okay, I'm going to come back to this in a minute. So good morning, Trevor. Good morning to see everybody. That's good. And so if you're new to my stream, I usually will follow some sort of structure so so that I won't kind of get lost in a way. So let me just give you a little bit an introduction for this particular live stream. Morning, Roman. Excellent. I see lots of familiar faces straight away. That is very good. So there you go. So this live stream usually comprises of 3 different sections here. I usually give a general update just to, let my friends and family around the world, as well as you guys, know that we are doing just fine in London. And we'll have the topic of the day, and then finally the Q&A. But because this is live, once again, I just want to reiterate and emphasize that anything could happen with live video. So either the audio or the vision. So like if you have any problem hearing me or seeing me on screen, please do let me know, and I will try to fix it. But live thing is always a little bit tricky. I do have a little bit of live demo today, so I hope it will run smoothly. I did a couple of try run before. It worked fine, but you really just don't know when you're doing live stuff like this. So today's topic is about wireless streaming. So it's going to be really interesting. Good morning, Burana. And that's okay, Trevor. Yeah, you missed my live YouTube yesterday. That's not a problem at all. And that is all good to me. It's just a way for me to continue communication with you lot. And it's really fun. I love it. Even though I almost lost my voice towards the end of my live stream, but it's still worth it. It's worth every single second of it. I just entirely appreciate all the support and all the love from you guys. It's just really cool. So just to go back to what I'm going to talk about today, right? This is something that I wanted to show you for over a few weeks ago, but then obviously I didn't use it enough to give you a honest opinion, also to do a proper live demonstration. But it should be really fun because good morning, David. This little gadget here would allow me to do a lot of things live. Yep, you heard that right. I can do live demo, I can do live shooting stuff in front of you guys. So this is good. So I'm going to do a little demo today. So I'm not going to shoot anything, but I'm going to take it outside in my back garden, even though it's a mess at the moment. But you will be able to see the wireless transmissions and everything like that. This thing used the Hollyland Mars 400S. This is the model number of the thing. So it does look like a walkie-talkie here. It just got a little 2 antennas here. This is the receiver. The transmitter is actually mounted on my EM5 Mark III already. So like this is all mounted off. So what it would do normally, this unit is, okay, if you're familiar with filmmaking, there are cases where the camera will attach to one of the transmitter and the director will have a receiver, so they can actually see whatever the cameraman is doing live. This is particularly useful for not only for the directors to actually visualize the movement and everything that is happening during the entire filming process, but also for clients. If you're doing a commercial project, the client can actually stand next to you, completely seeing the entire process without having to kind of nag at you and things like that afterwards. So you have to kind of rerun the whole thing. So this is a very useful production tool. But that's another purpose for it as well, which I recently found out. You can use it for live streaming, because once you have a capture card, like I mentioned earlier, and in my other streams, you can hook it up with the receiver right here and receive the wireless signal from your camera, as long as they have an HDMI output or even better. If you have a professional filming camera, you can utilize the SDI output as well. So this is fantastic. So you can hook it all up to the computer and you can see a live data coming from the camera. Just let me do a very quick demo here. And Brad, excellent, finished 5 minutes ago. Oh my goodness, social beast. So, okay, this is my current setup at the moment, and this is the EM5 Mark III. Right, I already mounted the ND filter here because outside is super bright at the moment, and we are definitely having a summer week coming the next few days. It's getting hotter and hotter. We're looking like we're gonna hit 27, 28 degrees later on this, not this week, but next week. But today it's gonna be 27, 26, 27. So it's gonna be really warm. Perfect timing for barbecue. Okay, so it's all set up already, and you can see it's turned on, and then everything is on at the moment. So all I need to do is to switch on this camera, and should allow you to see me. So let me just switch over to my other camera so you can see straight away. Let me just, so at the moment you won't be able to see anything, but as soon as I turn it on, right, let's see, hopefully it will come on in a minute. And oh, actually it is coming on, I think. Okay, right, it's detecting the studio, the audio, not audio, I mean the video. Oh, there you go. Right, okay, it's all synced now. You can see that it is working very well. The ND filter does cut out a lot of light, so I'm just have to remove it for now. And so it is working fine. So it looks like it is transmitting. So that is excellent. So instead of you seeing my belly, let's go back to my main camera, my A cam, my default camera. So this demonstration should actually see how good of the wireless system, or what sort of opportunity it gives you if you're a content creator, if you want to do like a live demonstration, live tutorial, live talk, even if you like, let's say, want to have a higher quality social post, for instance, if you go into an event or something, you want to do a live broadcast, and having the camera mobile that you can walk around the event, for instance. This is really, really cool. So I'm going to just give you a quick demo. So you guys can continue to talk. What I'm going to do now is to get my phone. So I can go outside, I can still see your comment, because I'll have to leave my computer right here because it's all hooked up. It's all connecting to the internet, hooked up to my receiver right here, so you can receive the video signal. I'm going to leave to the outside. It's getting a bit warm, so let's go outside to have a nice chat. Okay, let me switch on to the other camera here. And if you can't hear me, remember, just let me know, give me some comments, and I will be able to fix the audio channel or something like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, right, hope that you guys can see me still and hear me, and I am going to go outside. Ugh. Woo. Okay, it's much better here. Right, okay, let me just put it on my tripod, so everything is all set up, looking good. You know what, I am sweating like mad, and you can see that is actually working really well. I'm not going to wear my hat now, I think just a bit too warm, so I'm going to just hook it up right here. Where can I hook it up? Okay, never mind. And I'm sweating, I'm not joking. Okay, let's try to do a live demo here. See, live thing's always difficult, right? And okay, let me just turn on my Facebook so I can see exactly what is going on my page. And right, okay, let's see. Hopefully I'll see my own stream in a minute. Oh, for some reason I can't see my own stream. That is weird. So, okay, right, that's weird. So I can't see the comments from my iPhone. So you just have to bear with me. I'll have to read your comments and things like that later on. So this is more like what you can do with a wireless system. I'm actually probably about, at the moment, 10 feet away from my computer, and, which is fine. I'm just about to peek into my the computer. I can see the screen. My face been highlighted, right? So I actually set up this mode at the moment. You can actually see what the camera is doing, like you normally would, looking at the back of the screen, like, you know, the facial tracking is actually working, whatever. So you can actually turn the other mode on the camera as well, which is called the record mode. Once you turn on or enable the record mode on the camera, you won't be able to see the setting. You won't be able to see the box that is highlighting. You will just be looking at what you would normally see from a TV or from a movie screen. So I can enable that function, but at the moment I just want you guys to see exactly what the camera would usually see with all the settings, you know, like the box of the highlighting my face and focusing and things like that, so I can see how good it is, in, not only just for the transmitter but also the EM5 Mark III as well, because I did say that a couple of times, the EM5 Mark III facial tracking and videos now is very, very capable. I'm shooting with the 17mm 1.2 Pro. Is it wide open? I'm not entirely sure it's wide open. Let me see. I can't even see my setting at the moment, but it could be 1.2. It could be actually f2. I'm not entirely sure what setting I am. One tricky thing about this setup is that once you once you enable the monitor mode, so like what you can see through the HDMI at the moment, I cannot see the setting on my back of the screen, so I have no idea what sort of setting it is. But never mind. Let's keep on doing this. This is looking good, isn't it? So let me know what you think about the stream at the moment, the quality, because what I want to talk about the Mars 400S is the streaming at full 1080p at 60. So this is really good. And the moment, I think, because I set the output as 50 frames per second, so you can use it to match with my current framing, which I selected as 4K 25 frames per second. So this is kind of my usual filming frame rate. Sometimes you see 4K 24, so which is a slightly different frame rate, but 25 is kind of usually my thing. And so it matches the unit itself will automatically detect the actual frame rate that you selected on the HDMI output and match it accordingly. So you don't have to do anything, everything's automated. It does have our auto channel scanning, so which is also good as well if you're in a busy environment like in my house at the moment. It's got lots of Wi-Fi going, and it would find the correct and cleanest channel to transmit the audio, not audio, yes. The video and audio if you use the audio in this camera, because I'm actually having a separate channel at the moment. Sounds all complicated, right? But no, you don't have to worry about that at the moment. So just want to talk about the 400S. So this particular unit is actually pretty awesome. It's quite mobile for what it is. And I think more importantly, the 400S is actually quite affordable. Right, it's not, I would say, cheap. Definitely not. But if you look at the broadcast level wireless video transmitter that can do 1080, they are extremely expensive. So for bang for bucks, for the features and what you can achieve with this thing, is actually very, very affordable. Don't quote me on prices at the moment, but I will give you some details online later. You can check them out. It's definitely very affordable if you are in the market looking for something that can enable you to do something like this, like wirelessly. You can take it outdoor, do a live stream, live tutorial kind of thing. This is actually not a bad option at all, especially you can make money from it. In terms of build quality, and once again, this is actually quite surprising. Given the price, I would have expected something like polycarbonate, construction, like a plastic thing. But no, it's actually full metal. It even have a fan in it to just to dissipate the heat that's generated from the transmitter itself, which is actually pretty cool. It's not ultra hot, I would say a little bit warm if you do shoot it for a long time. In terms of battery life, that's another thing that I would like to talk about. It does run for hours. I'm using a smaller MP series batteries on top of it at the moment, and it does last for 2 to 3 hours minimum. I haven't kind of run it to the ground whether it's completely off, so I don't know exactly how long it will last, and Holyland didn't really give me a specification in terms of how long it will run in terms of the unit itself, because you can use different capacity, so it's very, very difficult to actually give you a solid runtime of the actual unit. So it's really difficult, but so far I can see that the little battery can last for a couple of hours minimum. If I use a bigger capacity battery, it will probably last 5 to 6 hours minimum, which is actually pretty good if you're doing a long coverage for events or even like a very long stream. Like I mentioned, if I do a live stream for 2 hours, I'm really losing my voice, so I don't see many one would be using over 2 hours, for live streaming. But if you are doing, like, let's say, a movie directing and movie production, yes, you could run into hours and hours of shooting, and that means that if you put in a big capacity battery, you'll be fine. Okay, so anything else I want to talk about this unit? It's pretty much actually, and it does have two different models. The 400 is the actual model configuration numbers, but you can have the S version. The S version, which means that you have SDI connections as well. So if you're having some sort of a high-end cinema camera which have SDI output, you can utilize that to give you even better quality. But HDMI is fine. HDMI is actually widely available on a lot of the mirrorless cameras these days, which means that you can actually use this unit for pretty much anything that you have these days. So fantastic, right? In terms of range, I did say that at the moment I'm about 10 feet away from from my computer, from the receiver. Technically, you can go up to about 100 meters. That's so they say, and obviously if there is no heavy interference, there is a line of sight in the kind of thing, you can probably go to the maximum 100 meters, maybe just a little bit further. I did try a little bit using this camera just around the corner of my house, and then it's starting to break out the signal, only because I have a lot of brick walls here, and you can see that this environment here is a lot of houses. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Wi-Fi going on, so there's a lot of interferences here. So I don't think it will go as far as 100 meters. Plus, I don't have a line of sight. My computer is just right there in my house. So if I need to have a line of sight, that means I have to kind of face the garden directly, and I have to keep on walking for miles and before you can test the range. So at the moment, I'm not testing it, but it seems to work just fine as it is at the moment. So let me head back to the main computer. I'm going to continue talking about these things. Right, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to go back in. Whoop, whoop. Oh, okay, right, I am back. And so what do you guys think? And does it look good? Does it look fun? And I think it's actually pretty cool. That means that you will have to you will be able to see me working live. I mean, if I decided to do a live coverage to do some work, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. Two things, of course, if you really want to do wireless streaming, for instance, you will need something to connect to the internet. You will need a computer. You will need capture card. So you need a couple of accessories that that will accompany your entire setup. So having said that you can do everything yourself, that will only apply if you are at home. Let's say if you want to do a event coverage, so you may need a second person there to man of course your computer and also hook up to the internet and things like that. But it's still, if you are having that sort of thinking and intention to do a live event coverage, having a two-man is still not too bad, like compared to a whole team, having like massive equipment and things like that. And for a lot of live coverage, you're usually talking like 2 or 3 man team and a lot of equipment there, and that would usually, the cost of production for a live event coverage would be about like 5-6 grand minimum. So you can now do something similar with almost nothing in terms of cost. You and maybe one of your mate or one of your partner can do the two-man a team here, and then the equipment itself is really quite affordable, so you can just do the same thing as all the big boys are doing, like news channels and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Right, okay, so let's look at some comments to see what you guys are saying. It looks like you have a wide aperture. Trevor, yes, I was shooting at actually think it's 1.2. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't quite see at the moment. I was shooting either 1.2 f2, so it should be quite wide aperture, so you can see the shadow depth of field. So that is what separate or set you apart from the competition, right? If you're having a wide aperture stream live, and it will make everything just looks a little bit more cinematic, a little bit more professional, unlike you're doing an iPhone job or something like just like a camcorder thing. It's so different when you have a proper camera and using a proper streaming equipment. Roman and Jennifer Batten Music, the guitar player. Right. Well, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, it is actually really cool. I think that it so far, from what I've tested for the last couple of weeks, and this unit does really outperform my expectation. Let's put it that way. It is good. Like I mentioned, it does run a little bit warm, but as you can see, it's very compact. The whole unit doesn't weigh a lot. So you can easily mount it to a rig and mount it to on top of your camera. It does come with all the little accessories that allow you to mount on top of the camera's hot shoes, for instance. But of course, you can use it on the camera rig or extension arms or anything like that. So it's very simple and straightforward. You can even mount it to your belt if you want, if you have a long enough HDMI cable. So all sounds fantastic, and I think that these things will allow me to do a lot of live demonstration in coming weeks, because I do intend to do something, so just to break up a little bit of routine, break up a little bit of patterns that I usually run this live stream, like sitting right here in front of my desk and then talking to you guys just in front of my computer and just one static camera, because now I have two cameras, and not only I have two cameras, but one of them can actually move around. I can do something else, so that will be good. And you can see exactly what I'm seeing usually on the back of my camera. I will be able to do a lot of stuff, right? So that is awesome. So this is what I am thinking. That if you are, I know a couple of you guys actually talked about starting to do some live streaming. This, of course, you don't have to get this, but if you are into the market looking for something like this is actually one of the best options out there at the moment, in my view, because I have other live streaming devices before. One that I use on my gimbal, for instance, is good, but not brilliant in terms of actually using for what I'm using at the moment. The range certainly not as far as this one here, and this one does go quite far, and the signal is really strong. As you can see, what I was doing earlier is fairly smooth, and the streaming quality is really excellent for 1080 stream. Of course, it doesn't do 4K stream, unfortunately, and but it does allow 4K input. It just doesn't transfer it to the receiver and ultimately into the stream itself. So you won't get the 4K output, but then that's okay. I think 1080 is still plenty, and especially you can go up to 60 frames per second, so you can get a really smooth footage. In the unit itself, there are a lot of settings here that you can select and also modify to get even better experience depending on what sort of thing you are covering, which you have to stay tuned for my proper review videos on YouTube, because I'm going to do one. Not only I'm doing more demo, but I also talk about the unit itself more in detail. So today I just want to give you like a quick demo and what you can do with these things on the back of my garden. Just go outside and I really do like the outside at the moment because it's so good and sunny. Nothing better than having some fresh air rather than just sitting in here. Especially it's getting warm. I have my fan right here blowing my face. Actually I need to turn it up now. And yeah, it's right good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little demonstration. I do think is a pretty fun experience, especially now. It frees my camera, that I can do something slightly more dynamic, slightly more interesting visually, at least to you guys. So at least you can maybe I can do some macro shots. You can see some bugs and put a macro lens on my camera and stream it over to this, and you can see exactly what I'm seeing. This is really fun, right? Okay, good. So hopefully this is my demo today, and you guys will enjoy this. Let me know what other things you would like to see, and if you have any question about the Mars 400S, and please do let me know. That will be pretty awesome. Let's see, right, let's go back to some photography, shall we? And of course I've done this now. I would like to have my live stream outside and show you pictures, but unfortunately I can't do things with my phone for some reason. It doesn't really show my stream, which is actually weird. Let's see, I can't get my live. Oh, okay, looks like some people can't get my live. Like I mentioned, I have no idea what happened to my Facebook at the moment. It doesn't seem that is doing anything and in terms of live streaming, because yeah, actually I can't see the live either on my page. And how come you guys can see it? Can you guys let me know why you can see my live stream? And it looks like it doesn't seem to be populating to all people. Okay, only some of you can see the stream, which is very weird. And I cannot access my stream on my Facebook either. I'm actually looking at my computer at the moment. Let me know how and why you can see it and someone cannot see it, which is very straightforward stream, and it's not working right. Okay. And I have no idea. Like I mentioned, this is live, and I have no idea if anything goes wrong here. And Ralph just actually messaged me only a couple of minutes ago, and then it said that he cannot see my live. And okay, that's weird. Brad can see me, Roman can see me, and Trevor can see me. So it's weird, and I can't see myself. And usually I can, but I can't see myself either. So I think there is some problem with Facebook. That is weird. So I may have to do another live stream about this unit tomorrow, simply because Holyland's supposed to tune in as well, and looks like they can't see me either, because it's weird. It's weird. Okay, let's continue our conversation first. And Roman, you have a question. So I had a completely different question here. I posted also yesterday on my YouTube as common. Does Olympus ask people who uses which camera, age, and gender? They usually do some sort of survey, but they can't really do I would say the proper kind of gauge what sort of gender, how many people are using it, and what sort of age, or what sort of demographic and things. The only thing they have is through camera registration. Of course, people who buy the camera will register for warranty services and things like that online. So those people, if they are genuine and honest, they will tell through the registration process about the age and gender and things like that. So that's the only time they can have this data and let them know what's the percentage of people or what sort of age group they have for a certain particular camera. So they have a lot of data there, but they rarely really kind of ask people. And I think this is what you mean, right, Roman? And does Olympus ask who uses which camera? They do have a target market for each of the product when they design them. For instance, the Pen PL series and also the OMD EM10 series, they are all aiming for not only just beginner, but also for female clients as well, customers, because they tend to not bother about the advanced level stuff. They are more like the two things that are really important to a lot of female users. They usually use it for blogging, for instance. So they are looking for automation, aesthetically pleasing, and easy to use. So these are kind of three things that they really like to use, and the EM10 Mark III and the EPL series are actually pretty good at those things. So of course, you can still advance and use other higher end camera like the EM5 Mark III, things like that. They still look cool, but just cost bit more and getting a little bit more advanced, and also a little bit heavier, because the EM10 Mark III and also the EPL series are pretty light cameras, so they can put it in their purse and just a little bag, so it's not weighting themselves down and things like that. And so obviously female clients, especially in Asia, in Japan and Hong Kong, China, and all the other places, they all have that kind of priorities for females. So it's very different, of course, in the Western market as such. So let's see what else in there. Oh, Mo, you're on leave or stuck at home. Good, you have that. Okay. Also, Roman, you said they can make a Pen F2 a little bit bigger if only men use it. If it comes at all 1 to 2 centimeters higher. Yeah, I think potentially, if they ever gonna produce a Mark II versions, they will consider all aspects of it. Whether they're gonna continue having this like ultra high quality kind of like no screw assembly, which is, I'm still kind of amazed how they put the cameras together. But if they really go down the route of having a supremely crafted camera, and I'm not entirely sure whether the price, that would be my concern. So if they're gonna go back to like a normal construction, like just like a normal EM5 Mark III, let's say, having screws showing, just to have a normal kind of top and bottom plate sandwich the middle chassis, and that means that they should be relatively cheaper than the the original Mark I version. So price is also one main factor, and in terms of size, I think they may keep it as the as current size, because it's not actually that much different to the EM5, for instance. I don't think they're going to make it bigger. I think they're going to keep it as the Mark I, maybe just a tad thicker, depending on what sort of features they're going to put into the camera. I don't think they're going to put in 2 slots, for instance. They're going to keep maintaining as 1 memory card slot, just like the EM5 Mark III. That's something that I think they're going to continue doing. Let's see what other things that you have here. There are some camera exhibitions, and you can see comes from which camera. Yes, but again, depending on whether these exhibitions would share those details to Olympus, and I know a lot of the competition will ask you what camera you use, because this is something when they have to kind of list out the entry of the people who enter the competition, show the details, what sort of thing they use and what sort of focal length and settings and things like that. Some competitions and exhibitions would do that, but again, these are because it's smaller scale and also more often happening around the world, so it will be difficult for Olympus to actually track down individual exhibitions and competition to gather all this data. So it's really unlikely they're going to use them, and so it's not really kind of a true reflections on how many people are actually using a particular camera or whatever setup they're using. So it's going to be really difficult. Let's see, the Traveler has something here. Why is Olympus cannot tether with Lightroom? This is something that is interesting. Yes, I do believe it's something to do with the protocol itself. At the moment, you can't really quite tether with Lightroom, unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure that might change very, very soon. It does with Capture One though, and so I don't know why that is. So you just have to see whether Olympus will contact Lightroom or vice versa. You know, they have to talk. You know, it's really hard for some, because you know, like a lot of camera companies, it's not really their priorities to kind of knock on the door and tell people what to do and things like that, because it's already working with their own workspace software in terms of tethering. And Capture One has I think it's an open source protocol, so it's actually quite easy to tap into. So Lightroom, it may actually be Lightroom's problem and not so much of Olympus' problem. So it could be Lightroom is not opening that port, whatever that is, and I'm not technical enough to comment on that. So that could be the reason why there's no tether on Lightroom for Olympus camera. But you never know. You never know. It might come very soon. Let's see what I have there. Mo, are you okay then? You're finally on leave. You've been working so hard, and you know, good on you. Good on you. Okay, let's see what else then. Roman say don't mind seeing the screw that if it's 400 euro cheaper. I doubt it's going to be 400 euro cheaper, to be honest. And you know, what is the original Pen F going for? I think it was about £1,200. Is it just on the body? I can't remember exactly. They never really come down on price, to be quite honest. Even in street price, it didn't really go down like the EM5 Mark II, for instance, and it remained hovering around between 900 to £1,000 level. You know, it never really go down. I believe because the demand was really high, and also it's quite a niche camera. It's quite a like unique camera on its own. So they, you know, just like Leica, they never really come down in price. This is, I think, in many ways, I would like Olympus to continue that theme, you know, and to make it like a more desirable camera to, you know, not only for you know, Olympus fans, but also for people who like to or treasure or appreciate craftsmanship, you know, in addition to camera features and functionalities. So, you know, I think the Pen F could be, you know, Olympus gateway to appeal to those kind of slightly different audience, so to speak. But having said that, you know, Olympus has carved out a very unique cult following for the Pen F, and so I'm pretty sure, like, you know, if you watch my YouTube live and you watch my other videos and streaming, you will know that how much I love the Pen F. And judging from the comment that I receive over the, you know, the last few months, you know, every single one of you guys also like the Pen F. Either you haven't got one, you want to get one, or if you do have one, you would just say how much you love that camera, right? So I really can't think, you know, another camera within the Olympus lineup would have that much of love or passion towards a particular camera model. So this is something that maybe I would do a video on YouTube just to talk about it, because it's actually an interesting thing for a lot of Pen F users and also Pen F lover or Pen F love fanboys, you know, and so this is really something, right? You got it used for 650, and yeah, I mean, I agree. You know, the new price is actually fairly high, and the used price. But if you look at the used price, now you're saying you got what your ones for 650, and but if you compare to the price of, let's say, the EM5 Mark II used now, the EM5 Mark II is significantly cheaper than the Pen F. So you can see the difference there. The Pen F definitely command a premium over, you know, the equivalent camera at the time. So it's definitely something to be proud of if you're Pen F users. It's just a very, very unique camera, and I think it will go down in history as one of the classic digital camera, especially for Olympus collectors, because they are great, they are good, and even now, I mean, my one is, I still I don't want to bash it, like for mine, because I trash my EM1 cameras because I use it for work. But for the Pen F, I'm still trying to like look after it. I don't want to scratch it, although it does have a couple of scratches and use marks, but it's it's expected if you are using your camera, right? You can't always maintain it like a mint camera unless you just buy one for shelf queen and just put it there. It's just not using it, but that's not me. If I buy a camera, I will use it. It just depending on how much I use it. But I do love the Pen F. It's just something that it does remind me of the good old days of film cameras, the range-finding cameras. It just added all these modern day features, so that is pretty cool, right? And I'm just checking my camera just in case no one nicked my camera in the back garden, and that's all good. Yeah, oh, hang on a second. I would like an articulated screen on the EM1, but I would like to have a flip to it's gone out, Ashton. Yeah, it's gone out. Sorry, my son is talking to me. You want to say hello to people? Yeah, go on then. I don't know who got it, Ashton. Sorry, my son is talking to me and they're looking for mummy. Oh, I got a bug on my face. All right, never mind. Let's see then. Because of that much love, they discontinue it. That doesn't make sense. Well, they discontinue because the technology has reached it just doesn't make sense. Let's put it that way. It doesn't make sense to keep a contrast detect AF on a 1000 bodies, like now, because the EM5 Mark III has the hybrid AF, which is fantastic for tracking and for sports, for instance. If they command the same amount of money for the Pen F, which now in terms of AF technology is actually sounds a bit dated, compared to the EM5 Mark III, and it really doesn't make sense. Not that they want to discontinue. I think because the EM5 Mark III is coming out, and then that they really cannot have that happening, and otherwise they will have to lower the price of the Pen F dramatically to compensate the lack of ability to track subjects, for instance. So I think that obviously this is all planned in the kind of roadmaps for the product launches and things like that. So obviously, I'm only speculating, and I don't know the exact reasons why they discontinued it, even though that, at the time when they discontinued it, people are still buying them. Imagine that, so they know the Pen F would sell. They really do know that, but the technology has been about 2.5 years, 3 years old now, so they really cannot continue that in terms of technology. It's still using TruePic 7 processor. So that is quite an old processor as well. So you can't really do much firmware update either. So really unfortunate, as good as a camera it is, it's just reaching the end of life for the technology, not so much about the camera. But like I mentioned in my review, if you haven't seen it, we've done a really cool review there for the Pen F. The Pen F reviews, I actually did say that if you are still primarily a still photographer, not video guy, the Pen F will still serve you, as well as any modern day digital cameras, even though it has a slightly slower AF compared to, all the latest and all singing, all dancing cameras out there at the moment. But it's still a very capable cameras. It may not track subject very well, but if you look at the target audience of the Pen F, it's almost like it's built for street photographer and documentary photographer, and how likely they are going to track things like do sports photography with a Pen F body. Not really. So you're most likely using wide angle lens. If you want, you can use zone focus and all the other stuff that you do with street photography. So in that case, the contrast detect AF on the Pen F body is actually okay. If you do want to use AF, it's still capable enough. It still does facial tracking. And face detect, not tracking, face detect. So for portraits, it still works fine, which is actually okay. I still use my Pen F every now and then for some of my professional shoots, depending on where I'm at. If I want to appeal to a certain type of client, I think that's a pretty cool looking camera, and I think that I'm quite trendy, right? Excellent. Let's see what else is here. And Travis here, it may be useful to be able to lock the central focus point and it doesn't move. And no, it's follow on from my YouTube. The central focusing point and it doesn't move. Yes, I guess so. You could lock. It would be quite good to lock something, But I mean, I think you can. Ashton, I really don't know. Where's the iPad, Ashton? You can use the big one. I'm not entirely sure. Ashton, Daddy is talking. So you really, if you're next, you want to come here and say hello to people? You want to say hello to people? Come on then. Yeah, you have to say hello to here. Come on. Right, let's give you my son. Come on here. Come here. All right, this is my son here. Hello. Say hello. Oh, you're shy. He's so shy. Come on now, you can take it into the room, Ashton. Right, okay, so I really have no idea what happened to my stream today, and looks like there is some technical difficulties there. Only a certain number of people can view me, but not everybody. So I would have to do another live demo tomorrow, which is annoying because this never happened to me. I don't know what happened there, and I don't know why only a certain number of people can see me and not everybody. Yeah, I'll just refresh my web page here, and it still doesn't show my stream, and it's absolutely weird. I have no idea. So let's continue, have a chat with Roman and Trevor and some other people who are here at the moment, and let's see. I shot a lot with Penef, people, concerts, and it was okay. Not as good as A9. Yeah, we can't really compare A9, and A9 is you know, few generations ahead of Penef, and like I mentioned, Penef launched in the 2016, early 2016, so it has been a while for the camera itself, and also like A9 does have better AF. For instance, it has these fantastic low light capability as well. You can shoot up to minus 5 EV, I think 6 EV, which is obviously is on the pro level. Just like the EM1X, the AF can go down to minus 6 EV if you're using 1.2 pro lens. So PanF wasn't that. And contrast detect doesn't actually work that way in low light because it's virtually no contrast. So it hunts a lot in low light situations. So it really isn't a camera to do that sort of thing. So when you get to lower light, I usually turn on to menu focus and just do punch in, magnify to get the focus. So unfortunately, that's the drawback of all contrast detect cameras. So not just PanF, but like all the older Olympus camera, like the EM5 Mark II, the EM10, the EPL series, they all would exhibit the same problem, lower light. That's cool. Let's see. Yeah, Brad say live seems to be with others after. Perhaps, but unfortunately they can't join me live. I know that a lot of people want to join me live. I'm pretty sure I'm going to receive some comments later say that, where is your stream? And then, because already Rao said that he can't see my stream. And I know Holyland, because I'm supposed to do a shout out for them today. And I did tell them I'm going to do one this morning at 11 a.m. And they even messaged me before that, oh, we're going to come in and say hello. I didn't see anything. That means they couldn't see me, which is total utter rubbish for Facebook. What happened to you guys? Oh gosh, man. No, you're doing a great job considering your current circumstance. Thank you very much. And I did come through a little bit with the difficulties in the beginning, especially after the announced lockdown, even before the lockdown, and all around the world, they're already telling people to be careful. Like they're starting to have certain restriction for travel, for instance, and a lot of my foreign clients, and I did tell some of you guys saying that 90% of my customers are actually coming from abroad. So that means that I lost all my foreign clients, and 90% of my customers are business disappear in 2020. And so like I lost income and everything. I kind of felt a little bit depressed as well. And also like my YouTube, I can't go out and film. So like it's a lot happening here. My kids and like got no school either. So like they're all here constantly, a lot of noises, a lot of disruptions. It means I can't really be myself or do things creative that I would like to do. Not that I don't love my kids, of course I do, but the thing is I can't work properly. I can't work normally as well as I would like to. So there's a lot of things going on there, and there's a couple of weeks that actually didn't feel too well, to be quite honest. And so I was feeling it and just really depressed in a way, a little bit down. And then I suddenly thought about maybe I'll do something live and just try and get in touch with few of my friends, you know, and see how it goes. And turned out to be becoming quite a thing, and I kind of enjoy it at the moment. And because I do see, and thank you, you know, for all of you been joining me, you know, since the beginning of the live stream. And I know quite a few of you actually, you know, joined me right from the beginning of starting the live stream on Facebook and also YouTube, and continue to do so, which is actually amazing. And I really truly appreciate it. I really do hope one day I'm going to meet you guys and have proper coffee and talk to you guys about photography and other things, even just be friends, you know, just talk about things. And like Roman, hopefully I one day I'll go to Germany and show me around, you know, where good places to eat and take photographs as well, you know, that would be cool. And of course, Brad as well, you know, all the other places, you know, I need to go. And just really hoping that I could go out and just to enjoy the life just like before, you know, take my family out, you know, do something crazy and filming, you know, do vlogs, you know, everything that I would like to do. Oh, dreading that day to come. Hopefully it will come very soon. Let's see. Okay, did you discuss about megapixels and how much people you can really see? I mean, if a human eye can see the difference between 100. Right, I did do a video. I did do a photography 101 about megapixel. I think I also did a stream a few weeks ago on Facebook talking about megapixel. I think I might do another one because this is like a constant thing that people are talking about. Yes, I said it so many times about these megapixel things, and not many people actually understand the essence of it, and also like the usage of megapixels. People simply associate the higher number of megapixels, the sharper you can get for photos. You know, it doesn't work like that. You know, obviously depending on the output, where you're displaying your thing, and whether you will need those pixels to display those sharpness that you really want to see. So it's all about those reasons, and if you can't answer them yourself, you don't understand any of those yourself, then you have a problem there, and that means you completely don't understand megapixels, resolutions, and the need of it, most importantly. So I guess this is very, very different, and but I will do something, Roman, so stay tuned for that. I may actually do another video very, very soon. So Trevor, and let's see, you guess is something, I met you very briefly last year at the photography show. Yes, I remembered you, but I really would like to have a proper catch up with you guys and have a coffee, and yeah, let's meet up again. Hopefully when all these lockdowns is finished, and I'm pretty sure I'll meet every single one of you gradually if I have the opportunity, and that would be right, that would be cool. Excellent. So I am going to end my stream, and it looks like there is some technical difficulties here. So I will do another live stream tomorrow, talk about the Holyland 400S, because this doesn't seem to work today. So I have to redo it tomorrow. Hopefully Holyland we're going to join in, and if you have any questions, you can ask them accordingly. Awesome stuff. And Brad, just say one thing. We'd love to do a photo walk. Yes, I'm going to do a photo walk. Do a photo walk, definitely. I was supposed to do one at the beginning of this year, but because of all this happening, I can't do it. So hoping everyone's going to be well and live. Enjoy the sunshine, do a barbecue, something. You know, this weekend's going to be gorgeous, and we're going to do a barbecue in the family. And even though we're not meeting any friends, but at least we're going to enjoy a little bit of the sun outdoor. So that's cool. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and don't forget to coming back. I'm going to do another Holyland demo tomorrow, so you can see me live again in my backyard, talk about photography and stuff. Also give a shout out to Holyland because they are really good to send me this review unit, so we'll be able to do a proper live demo using streaming. Awesome stuff. Excellent. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and then take care. I will see you guys tomorrow, right? What could you link the MP? Which MP video? Sorry, Roman. Just before I go, what's the MP video? So if you can just type me the comment, I will be able to reply you. Right, just let's see. Feels a bit odd today. I just know that the live stream is not working 100%, and okay. Right, okay, Roman, and you can actually reply me. I know the population, the actual comment section isn't working live either. So the video that I did, right, Okay, I'm going to chat to you separately. I will send you the link separately as well. So I'm going to end my stream here. So I know all of you guys want to get on with your life and your day. So I will see you guys all tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow live stream is going to be better. More people will be able to see it, and today just super weird. I have no idea what happened there, so I have to blame Facebook. So this time is not my gear, not my setup, nothing to do with anything that I do right here. It's to do with Facebook. So thank you, Facebook, for messing up with my live stream today. But lucky that some of you guys can still see it, so thank you for that. And okay, no problem. Roman, I'm gonna send you the link for the megapixel if I can find it, and on YouTube and also on the Facebook stream. So I'll send you the link for that. Okay, so don't forget, all my previous live stream is all archived in my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, not the Red 35. So I'm gonna give you the link as well. So I'm gonna edit my description so you can see the links there. So go and check out. Awesome. So I will see